All right, so what we're doing is we have an attic access in this old house, which was in this, what used to be kind of a pantry closet. The attic access was in here. It still is in here. But what we're doing is we are turning this closet into a laundry closet. It's just the right size for a stackable washer and dryer. You can see we already installed the dryer vent, the supply lines for the washer and dryer, the drain lines for the washer and dryer, power for the washer and dryer. Now we're going to move the attic access over to there so that we can cap it up, because we're never getting in there once you have a washer and dryer here. There's no way you're ever going to get up there. So we're going to move it out here into the hallway. I figured this is probably the best place to put it. I think they originally put it in that closet thinking to keep it hidden, but it kind of made it a pain in not very usable. And this hallway is right in the middle of the house, so that's where the trusses are the tallest. So it's going to make it easier to get in and out of the attic when we're done, other than you have an attic access in your hallway, but we'll make it look nice. What I do know already is there's insulation all over on the top of this. And so when I cut it out, I'm hoping to bring it down with the insulation all on there and not get too much of it everywhere. Put it in a garbage bag, frame in the new attic access. We can put the insulation back up when we're done. So what I did is I took just a finish nail. I'll make another one here. Just need one nail, so I'm just breaking one nail off of the clip on my finish nails. And I poked along until I found the edge, the very, very edge. You can see right there, that's solid. That's hitting a truss. Move over just a quarter of an inch or even an eighth of it right down to think nothing. I know that's the edge of my truss. Did that on all four sides. And I took my, right there, that's right up the edge of the, so I know that these trusses are not exactly square. So I'm going to get my saw, cut along the truss, hopefully not get too much insulation on everybody. And I already know there's a catwalk across there, which we'll see when we get to it, that we're going to have to cut out when we reframe this whole hole. It's going to be quite a job. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be messy, but not going to be too hard. So I'm going to get my tools out and start cutting. Now I want that piece of sheetrock all in one nice clean piece because I'm going to use it for the lid. Once we frame in the new attic access, it's going to be reused. Hopefully my safety goggles aren't too dark for working inside here. We'll give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and start right where I made my mark. So another reason I don't want to use a power saw for this is I'm just, if any wires are running through the insulation that's in there, I don't want to cut them. And with this little handsaw, I would feel them before I was able to cut through them. And I can feel the edge of the truss as I follow it along. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, because I don't want to mess up this crown molding, I'm going to use my multitasker tool on these edges. And I'm going to get my garbage bag ready for when I bring it down, that I can put that insulation into a garbage bag. Ooh, there it goes. Okay, I'm going to hand you that tool. And I'm going to try to come down nice and easy and see how much falls on me. which will probably be a lot. So, even though this gives me COVID claustrophobia flashbacks, I'm in the insulation now, so I'm going to wear a mask for what it's actually really designed for. That is to keep dust out of my lungs. So see, we had wire right there, which if I'd have been using a Sawzall, and one here too, both of those I could have hit with a Sawzall, and that would have been really bad. So by using the handsaw, I was able to make sure I didn't cut through those. This board's just a little more old and rough than I thought it was. It was one I found out in the shed behind this place. I thought it worked just perfect for our attic access walls to keep the insulation back. How about that? Look at that. It's going to have a 1/16 of an inch to spare. Looks like I can. So again, messy, messy. I'm just going to tack it in with place with these. And like I said, when we're done, I'll put in some bigger, tougher ones, make it more structural and permanent. This will hold it in place for what we need for the moment. Grab the other one. Sometimes the wires will be, they have staples down to hold them in place, but I don't know how close the next one is. I don't know whether I'd be able to move them or not, or how far I'd be able to move them. Okay, that'll hold some of the insulation back. Now I got to cut out this catwalk and put in the plywood sides. I'm no problem cutting out this catwalk now.
Do you want to maybe check on top of the board?
Yeah, nothing's there. Nothing's there. I'm all good. Except I want some hearing protection. Neat. Perfect. Okay. Now again, I don't know what's, I got 2-inch nails in here, and that's 1/2-inch plywood going into 1.5 inch thick 2x4 on the truss. So it's exactly 2 inches, so they shouldn't poke out the other side. Shouldn't hit any possible wires or pipes or anything that could possibly be there. And again, I'm not worried about the dust on this floor because all this flooring is getting torn out later. And we have a visitor. Quarter the caulk when we're ready to paint. Framing. Make sure we get through that thick texture. There we go. And ta-da! A new attic access. Ready for paint. But first we got a lot of cleanup to do before that.